Howdy, partners. It's Dean and Rodney here to talk to you a little bit today about something really fun. What is it, Rodney?
We're talking about agency, Dean. Agency.
We've had a lot of new paperwork come down the pike, and we want to try to discuss that with you, help you be able to navigate this the best you can. So, anyway, what we want to talk about first is when you actually start talking to a buyer. You meet somebody who wants to buy a home, whether they're a first-time home buyer or this is their 10th time buying a house. You have to get them to fill out some paperwork. Well, we recommend at the time that you solidify the relationship with the buyer, we want you to fill out the CVR MLS exclusive right to represent buyer agreement, and it looks like this. This is the 2-page form. You can see there's page 1 and there's page 2. We want to get you to fill that out with that client, and then you want to hold on to this document. In fact, we have to keep it on file for how long, Rodney?
3 years. Once that document is executed, you need to turn that into your office administrator just like it were a contract or a listing agreement. We have to keep that on file for 3 years at Hometown.
Perfect. So you may still be a little confused and your head could be spinning. That's okay. We'll get you straight. So if you look at this form, really it's easy to fill out the top part. You put in the name, the address, all that kind of, the name, not the address, the name, the date. Then there's a term that this agreement is going to be good for. There needs to be a, what kind of date, Rodney?
Has to be a definite termination time.
And there also needs to be a date where it commences. So a beginning and an end. And that can be up to you on how long you want to do it. You know, you could be for a day. What else, Rodney?
It could be for 2 hours. If you're going out to show houses for 2 hours, it could be for 3 months, 6 months, 30 days, whatever works best for you and your client.
You can also write in, you know, sort of in the blank, you could write in there that it's only good for one showing of 101 Elm Street or particular property.
Dean, in the top section there, it also talks about the type of property that you're going to be helping them find.
Mm-hmm.
I would be very broad with that description. I would say it could be any home in the Richmond metro area, or if you know they only want Henrico County, you could say 3 to 5 bedroom home in Henrico County.
That's a great idea, Rodney.
But have a very vague description so it encompasses everything.
All right, I like that. If you move on down in section 5, it deals with compensation. I don't know about you, but that's pretty important to me. How about you?
That's extremely important.
We recommend, and the company policy really is to check the second box. Now, there may be special circumstances where you'd want to check something else, talk to your manager about that. But the second box says that the compensation offered by the listing firm or by seller to a buyer's broker on property acquired by a buyer, but such compensation shall not be less,
It's a buyer
probably
call.
a buyer call, shall not be less than the MLS offering. We recommend write in the blank, the MLS offering.
The reason you do that is because it could be 2.5% with a new construction home. It could be 3%. It could be 3% with a $1,000 bonus. So whatever the offer is in MLS, that's what we want.
Excellent. The next paragraph, still in section 5, says it allows you to have some rights or after this contract were to expire, very similar to the listing agreement. We recommend you write in 30 days there. Now remember, with that, you're only protected if they do not sign another one of these exclusive right to represent buyer agreements with another broker. If they do that, then your rights to earn compensation are over. So this also covers you with dual and designated representation. Now, if you wind up having a buyer who's filled out this form and you choose to show a hometown listing, or even better than that, even one of your own listings, so either your own listing or another hometown listing, there is some additional paperwork to be filled out. If you would be acting as a dual agent, then you would need to fill out this form. Okay, if you're acting as a dual agent, you fill out that form. If you're acting as a designated representative, you would fill out this form. Okay, these need to be filled out by law before you actually show the property. So you'd have these filled out. If you're going to show that property and the buyer is unrepresented, so you're still just representing the seller, the buyer doesn't want representation, then they would need to sign this disclosing that you are not representing them and they're not expecting any representation from you. Rodney and I have both decided we feel like it'd be a great idea for you if at the time of listing, when you list the home, if the seller allows for dual agency and allows for designated representation, it might be good to get these two forms filled out and signed by the seller in advance and have these in your file as well as, well, Rodney, you can go over that.
I would say you could also upload those documents to your listing. That way, if a hometown agent is showing your listing, they can print off that attachment, have their buyer sign it prior to viewing the home. That way you're covered. What if the listing agent's out of town, you can't get access to that, you want to show the property? That would just make it a lot easier if you update that and do something cool like Dean.
That's right. Let's take those off. Okay, so what else do we need to cover today, Rodney?
I think that's about it. There's always going to be cases where some of these forms need to be used in a different situation, and in that case, go talk to your manager, get their advice before you do anything, and you'll always be covered.
Very good. Well, don't be intimidated by the forms. It's not that hard. We'll learn how to use all this stuff. We wear a lot of hats. I don't know what's going on with my hat right there. But thanks for your time, and we'll see you down the line.